If you want to get the slides, it's a QR code here. I'll put that back up at the end of the talk too. The plan is just to walk you through how to get Godot, how to get started, get your own platformer going, and make a fool of myself in the process. Any questions before we dive in?
You're already doing a good job making a fool of yourself.
I do what I can, and sometimes what I can't. Who am I? Because I have to remind myself. Justin Revelstoke, I do software making. I'm an instructor here at VTC. I work over at Western Washington University. Biker, brewer, triathlete, hacker, maker, gamer, and I run a little Etsy shop on the side, the brew.shop. That's the brew.shop, your one stop for things that don't exist yet and maybe shouldn't. All right. Could you read this slide for me? You got the voice.
I've never watched these movies, though. Want to make a little game?
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, let's Godot. And first thing, it is pronounced Godot. This is a project of French origin. So it's not Merlot, it's Merlot. Not Godot, it's Godot. Though some YouTubers will call it GoDaddy, and I'm okay with that too. To get started, all you have to do is go to godotengine.org and click this download latest, and that will download the binary. And what you'll notice is the first cool thing about Godot is you just get a zip file, you extract the zip file, that's it. Installation done. There is no installer. That little binary there is the entire application. Let me open up Godot, and you can see the real version of this. So this projects window is the first thing that greets you. If you're just starting, you'll see create new project. I have a few in the hopper here, but I will go ahead. Oh, the lag. All right, I might mirror screens. And hit create. All right, we're mirroring. We're mirroring. Ooh, ooh. All right, get that one out of there. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. No, don't need to look at that. Yeah, so these 3 steps are all you gotta do. Extract, double click, create new project, and you will be in Godot. So let's do that and then show you what we're working with. What should we name our project?
Bokoblin Run.
Ooh. Oh, this thing is so hot. If I pass out, one of you just pick up. Oscar, I'll tag you in.
Do it again.
All right. So it'll just take a second as it sets up, and then you'll be greeted with this. This is the Godot interface. Ooh, we're cooking. We're cooking. Oh, don't blue screen on me. Or else I'll have to explain Godot through interpretive dance. Yeah, so this is the main Godot interface. You'll see up at the top, there's 4 options here for 2D scene, 3D scene, user interface, and other nodes. This is my first and perhaps my favorite part of Godot. Nodes. Everything is a node, and nothing is a node. You can't have anything in Godot that's not a node. If you're familiar with like React, think web components. If you've worked with Flutter, think widgets. Everything inherits from one of these 4 node classes. So Godot is highly hierarchical. It makes it really easy to kind of build. You just have all these modular Lego blocks and you'll stick them together. And we'll do that really soon here. Maybe. Let's restart Bokoblin running. Is this where I say that's never happened before?
Works on my machine.
Should have used Docker.
We're waiting for Godot.
Godot is shy.
Live demos.
Live demos, they are a treat. All right, well, while it thinks about it, bring it to the next page here. Project setup. After you create a new project, the first thing you're probably going to want to do is get some assets to work with. Building a game, you're going to need images, you're going to need sounds, you're going to need music, you're going to need inspiration. There are tons of resources online. If you're not good at art, I'm not good at art, don't let that stop you from making a game. There are tons of free and open source and royalty-free resources available online. Top of the list here, Kenny, hallowed be thy name, just makes every kind of game asset you could ever think of, and even makes demo projects, makes it really easy to get in and start building. itch.io, another great resource. Not only do they have game jams and give you some inspiration to try to build something, but they have entire games, assets, a lot of them free. You just have to attribute the author, or they have some paid ones there. If you are good at art, you could start putting it there and make money. Weird. Pixabay has lots of good free, royalty-free stuff. Polypizza for 3D assets. And then don't worry about the code, because everything's going to go up on GitHub here after the talk. Nodes, 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 everything's nodes. The other thing I really like about Godot, oftentimes when you're learning something, the first comment you'll get on Reddit is RTFM. And that just gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, like I haven't already. Godot, it's built into the interface. You control-click pretty much anything, and it will open up the documentation for it just in Godot. It's, I would marry Godot if I could. All right. So this is where I would open up Godot and start making a player. That's really weird. My machine is haunted. What if I
Really wants you to make a new project.
what if I bounce back between? Okay, but what if I need a young priest and an old priest?
Have you tried turning it off and on?
I'm so scared with the setup here that turning it off and on again. Well, okay. That's interesting.
Just pretend like it's not there.
My ADD. You can't spell code without OCD. So welcome to the Godot interface. For this talk, I'm going to build something out in 2D. Why? Because it's one less than 3D, and so it's one less dimension to worry about with everything you build. All your sprites, your assets, everything's simpler when it's flat. But Godot is a fully featured 3D engine. So if you're interested in 3D, supports that. If you're interested in augmented reality, extended reality, supports all of that too. So I'm just going to click 2D over here, and welcome to Node. This is a node. Remember nodes? Everything's a node. I'll hit this plus button and move this behind the shadow window. And we get this create new node window, which is probably really small up there. My first enemy, resolution. These are all the nodes available in Godot. You can make games without knowing any code, pretty much, in Godot. You can just pick and choose from this list, staple things together, click a few boxes, fill in values on the side, and you can have a game. And I think, given the time, it's worth taking a second to see if I can make this bigger for you. Editor settings. Display scale, 200%. Bigger. Ooh. Oh, I see your pupils dilating. That's good. That's good. Is the migraine gone? All right. So I didn't save. So we're back here. I'm going to click 2D scene again, plus, and look at all these nodes. So since we're in 2D, I'm going to click on Node TD and look at all this stuff that's just built for us. You want bones? We got bones, collision polygons, GPU particles, navigation meshes for AI to figure out where your little player is and run around corners for it. All of that just built out here. I guess it looks pretty boring right now. We should probably put something on the screen. So I'm going to start with something called a sprite. Sprite 2D. Sprite, delicious. I'm more of a 7-Up or Squirt guy myself, but I don't hate. In gaming context, sprite is just an image, pretty much. Why? I don't know. Now that I've made that, I'll draw your attention over here on the right. This is the inspector. Every node has a bunch of different properties. You remember how I said everything is a node and everything derives from other nodes? If I click on my Sprite 2D, you'll see it is also a node 2D, so it has everything that has as well. So we start building on each other with these nodes to make more and more complicated ones. All right, Sprite 2D. This is what I'm really interested in here, the texture. It's empty. We need an image there. So what I'm going to do is open up my downloads folder. And I am going to go to Linux Fest Northwest 2025 Godot and copy this assets folder. This will be up in GitHub. Correction, Linux Fest Northwest no dash assets. Yes, because I made some assets for this. I'm not good at art, so I spent a lot of time, but I made a penguin. Yeah, thank you. And this is an OWASP, and that's a Wireshark. We'll get there. So I'm going to just copy this assets folder and put it into Bokoblin run here. And then once I come back into the editor, it automatically imports all that. It analyzes what file type it is, and it'll pretty much just turn it into a usable asset. So let's say we want a fish on here. I can click and drag my fish.png. Some assets I spent more time on than others. And we encounter our first issue in 2D if you want to make a pixel art game. No, you don't need your eyes checked. It's blurry. We need to update our project. So project settings. And we need to change this rendering textures to nearest. Oh, look at those crisp pixels now. Yeah. So by default, it will try to blend the pixels, you know, get that aliasing in and stuff. So you have to change the texture rendering to nearest so that it doesn't do that. But the Godot community, really kind, really fun. They don't tell you to RTFM. That wasn't fair of me. They will help you figure stuff like that out. All right. Pretty much every node has position, rotation, and scale. So you can just drag stuff around or put in numbers. And if you want to change up here, you can change to rotate mode. And ooh, we've got an up fish now. Hold Control and it'll snap. Do this, we can scale our fish. Yeah. Anything you see on the right here, these are all properties for this object. All of this can be changed in code. So you can make any of these properties dynamic. Yeah, and if you hover over any of them too, again, really good documentation built in. Godot wants you to succeed. I want you to succeed. All right, so right now this is just called unsaved. That doesn't sound safe. So I'm going to save this. But I'm going to save it as a scene. So I'm going to make a new folder here. I'm going to name it scenes. And then I'm going to save this as, we'll just say Gish, sure. That's copyrighted, isn't it? I can't risk it. Fish.scene. So scenes, you can think of scenes as, don't think of them like movie scenes. Think of them as kind of high-level objects. You can put together a whole bunch of images, functionality, animations, package it all up, and then you can just click and drag that into another scene and make 100 of them. So you can make a coin scene, a fish scene, your main scene. Let's make a player scene. So I'm going to right-click, create new scene. This will be a 2D scene, and I'm going to say player. Let's add a sprite for our player. Our player is going to be that penguin, and that's going to be here under 2D node. I want the penguin to have animations. I don't care what you say. My penguin's going to have animations. So I'm going to do animated sprite 2D. And now you see we have another option here for animation and sprite frames. Direct your attention to the left. It's got a sign like your shirt. Warning. Godot is really good at communicating to you when something's not wired up correctly. And it just says, sprite frames resource must be created. Oh, there's a sprite frames that's empty. So I just need to click that and create new sprite frames. Ah, error is gone. So now we need to put stuff in that sprite frames. So we'll just click that, and our sprite frame stuff opens up here at the bottom. All right, here's where we can build our animations. Add frames from sprite sheet. All a sprite sheet is an image with tiles of the animation frames laid out in some consistent periodic manner. So this is what I have. We can hit auto slice here and it'll do its best guess. It worked fine until I put my little weird Wireshark in there. So what I'm going to do is adjust this manually. There are that many? 8. That looks lined up. 8 columns, 4 rows. That's it. And then I can click what frames I want to import for my animation. So let's see, for idle, I'm going to start with the idle animation. I'm just going to have it do those 3 frames. Just a happy little waddle, right? Add 3 frames. Yeah, oh, look at you. All right, let's get it waddling. So I'm gonna press this to autoplay on load, and then good, I want it to loop, so leave that alone, and then I'll press play, and we can see it. Oh. And you can adjust the FPS, you know, if you want caffeinated penguin. Yeah, sure. That
It's chasing cocaine bear.
we'll leave that. And then I'll rename this animation to idle, and then we can make another one here. We'll click this, new animation again. Grab that sheet and maybe make one that's called run. And so I'll just have it go back and forth between these frames. Add 2 frames, call it run. Hit play. Oh yeah, go buddy. Sanic. Bump that up to 10 FPS, why not? New animation, getting the gist now. Let's do a jump. I have these three frames for this. I'll call this jump. This one I do not want to loop. Otherwise it looks like a weird spring thing as it goes, so I'll unclick that. So it just, launches itself and then it stays extended penguin. Yeah, and then one more, because what is a penguin if it cannot shoot? There we go. Whack. What else does our player need? What is a... Should we go back to the slides? The slides probably tell us. Create a player scene. Add sprites, animation, program movement and jumping. Yes. So, for our player to move and jump, it needs to have some physical presence in our game world, which means it has to have some physicality, some body, some, what we would say, collision. So, what I'm going to do is open this up. Come on through here and collision shape 2D. If you want to get really fancy, you can do a collision polygon and, rotoscope your little penguin out. All right, so warning. Collision shape 2D only provides a collision shape to a collision object 2D derived node. Please only use it as a child of area, static body, rigid body. Character body. Ooh, character body. That sounds like something that would be good for our character. So I'm actually going to bring in a character body And I'm going to make that our new scene root. So this will be our player. And you can just click and drag to nest stuff under whatever you want. It's fine. Reorganize however you want. Now, what else do I need to do? A shape. We need a shape. We can't have amorphous amoeba collision. So just like we had with animation frames, it's complaining that it's missing something over here. Shape, empty, click. What kind of shape? Show me on the shape list where you see the penguin. Well, it depends on what you're going for in the game, but most of the time with a 2D player, a 2D platformer, you're probably going to want something like the capsule. Why the capsule? Because this capsule shape, it's got the properties of a rectangle in that it kind of encompasses your whole sprite. You can just size it for that, but also it has rounded corners. And you know what things in 2D like to do when they don't have rounded corners? They like to get stuck and just clip onto ledges and stuff, and it's really frustrating. So when you have rounded corners like this, things just tend to move more smoothly as you jump around and run. Okay, we have collision. We need to put our penguin somewhere though, right? It needs a habitat. That sounds like a new scene. This one I'm gonna call main. This is where I'm gonna start putting everything together. So I'm gonna make main, and then we need to start adding. We just need something for the penguin to stand on. So what I want here is a static body 2D. Oh, and there's the little thing. It needs collision shape. So we add. So again, Godot is really good at walking you through what you need at each step. And then, oh, what's collision shape need? It needs a shape. And then just for something to stand on, I'm going to pick rectangle. Oh yeah, look at that rectangle. It just looks so welcoming. It'd be good if we could see it, probably, right? All right, let's right-click, add child node. If we want to see it, it needs to be an image. If it's an image, it should be a sprite. Sprite 2D. And I'll open up assets here. Show me what I'm working with. And I can just click and drag PNGs over into there. Works just fine. Oh, and you can have animated textures, parallax. You can have if you just want noise, you know, like what I'm doing right now. You can generate textures from noise. It's got lots of features. If you nerd out on color, you can do RGB curves and tweak it in real time in the code. All right, but this is fine. All right, ready for the moment of magic? We open up scenes. We drag player over. Boom. Now our penguin is here in the main scene. We can hit run. Oh, we haven't selected what scene should run when we hit play. So I'm going to select current so that it uses main. If you ever just want to run a separate scene individually, this button up here will let you do that. So select current. Oh, look at that. Oh, cool. Well, thank you all for coming to my talk. think I've met my contractual obligation for, yeah, I'm left wanting. It'd be nice if we could, I don't know, crop in around the penguin maybe, have control over how it's displayed on the screen. You know what that means? No, you don't? Okay, I'll tell you. We need another node. And what node? Oh, we should not nest player underneath the tile there. That probably helps. We are going to add a camera. And so this will give us complete control over how our window is displayed in the game. And we have lots of things that we can change over here, where the camera's offset. Is it a fixed camera with snap to the top left, or do the coordinates start from the center of the camera? Is the camera on or off? You can have multiple cameras. You can have your player camera, and then you can have a separate cutscene camera that does all sorts of fancy swooshing and zooming and lens flares, and switch between them when you hit certain points in the game. We just want one to follow our penguin right now. So I will put a camera here, and I will tuck it under player, so it's parented to player. Whoa, we're getting closer. I think I would like my penguin to, I don't know, not hover. So.
Penguins can't fly.
Don't tell my daughter. I think I'll also double the zoom on this camera, just to. Okay. No. And then our camera. Oh, we've done it now. We need to adjust our offset. There we go. Yeah, I see your pupils again. Yeah, it'd be cool if our player had, I don't know, gravity, maybe, one way or another. Let's do that. Recap, player scene, sprites, movement, cool. We have a platform, good. Okay, we're gonna write code. The way we do this in Godot is by clicking on the node that we want to add code to, and then realizing node and code rhyme, and appreciating that for a second, and then clicking this button. This will allow us to add a script. The language that Godot uses natively is called GDScript, but it also has full support for C++, C#, if you want to do that, and a lot of people have ported other languages to it, so if you're more comfortable in other things, you can do that as well. But I have found no reason not to really use GDScript. It's Pythonic, really easy to code in. It's got all the syntactic sugar, developer ergonomics. Yummy. Okay, so now I'm going to hit create, and I want to create a new folder called scripts, not under scenes. Here, scripts. Sure, script. Player.gd. Create. All right. Welcome to the code. So first thing, it'll automatically add this extends character body 2D. This means we just have access to everything a character body 2D has. which in turn, because Node's Nest, has access to everything a collision object 2D has, which in turn has everything a Node TD has, and a canvas item 2D has, and vanilla Node has. We can mess with any of this. But first, we got to do a couple things. First, we need to invoke a couple of the built-in functions in Godot. Anyone here Arduino? It's okay. You're safe. With Arduino, you have two main functions. You have a setup function that runs once when it starts up, and then you have an infinite loop that runs all the Arduino things as it goes through its life cycle. Similar here. We have a ready function. And I'm just going to type pass for now, which will just not do anything. And then a on. Oh, yeah. Okay, process. Pass. Okay, one more. Bonus. Because I like you, there is a physics process. Okay. These are the three most important functions you'll need to know as your code. Ready. Whatever code you put in here, that'll just run once when your node is loaded. Node and load rhyme. Process will run every frame. Yes, visible frame. And it will loop. It's not exact in the timing. So if you do run into little hiccups, what you actually want to do, notice that delta there. You have access to a variable called delta, which will tell you how much time has passed since the last time the function ran. So you can be really precise about, movements. And then physics process, if you're doing anything with physics, you want that to take precedence. You want that to be a little more immediate. That's where that stuff goes. All right. Let's add some gravity. So right now we have motion mode grounded. We have an up direction. We have collision. What we need is position. We're going to change our position using the velocity property. Velocity is a 2D vector, which means it's a vector, it's arrows in 2 dimensions. You have an x component and a y component. With gravity, we really just care about the y component. And just to see if stuff works, I'm just going to write velocity.y plus equals 1. We come back to main here and run it. Okay, our penguin doesn't move. We need one more thing. We need move and slide. Yes, yes. That will actually execute the changes in velocity. Save it, run it. Did our penguin move? Oh, look at that! The penguin has landed! Oh, it is really hot in this. All right, what if we want the penguin to, I don't know, have another dimension of movement? Maybe one we control. Like, I don't know if you're dyslexic like me, but left and right. Let's add that. Controls. Controls need to map to something you press on the computer or play in your hands, Rock Band controller. What we got to do is map that. So very important, come up here, project settings, there's an input map tab here. I'm going to click show built-in actions because there's a bunch built in that just come out of the box. What this allows you to do is take any key press, any joypad press, joystick, Arduino trigger, whatever, and link that, just give it a name, a common name. So we have UI up. That'll work if I press up on the keyboard here, but maybe I want it to work with W. So I will just press plus, hit the W key, and OK. And now when I press W, it will trigger UI up. You can probably see where this is going. For right, I'm going to do D. Left, I'm going to do A. And down, I'm going to do S. And you can add your own. Add new action, jump, add. Now we have a jump down here, and we can just hit the space bar. Boom. Now we have a jump. Yeah? Jump around. All right. So now that we have those inputs, we can use this input event. And it's got a node, input event. And what I want to do, hold please. Input event syntax. Godot. Here, I'll give you the full walkthrough on how to really code in Godot. This is the one. Input dot is action pressed. So there's a few different ways you can handle inputs. Is action pressed will test if something is currently pressed, but you also have is action just pressed. That will tell you if between the last time this process function ran and the current time, if the action just happened. So maybe if you just want to detect like if they just hit the button, you can do that. You can do if anything's pressed, if it's released. So you can tie into any of these key presses. So I want to say, is action pressed? UI right, perfect, that's what I wanted. Then we can just do velocity.x plus equals 1. Run it. We made D, UI right. Oh, we're going.
Go.
All right. We can do the same with like jump. If is action just pressed. And then y minus equals, let's just do 10. We'll do that. We'll hit jump. Oh, that's so small. That's so, I mean, probably physically accurate. Now, what I'll show you is probably how you should actually handle character movement. There's this tab up here called Asset Library, and tons of people have made these third-party libraries for Godot. And you can just type in character. You can correctly type in character. And you'll see character controller, character generator, advanced character, and ultimate character controller. You can just click these, download them, you'll get a new node, and they'll have done all that work for controlling for you.
So, technically we are over time, but I imagine that you guys still want to sit in and listen to Justin finish his lecture.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay if we keep going.
You humble me.
Yes.
Okay, let's crank out a few more things. Yeah, enemies, game logic. Yeah, polish. Polish doesn't exist. Polish is a myth. So yeah, let's make another scene just for enemy. Clippy. And
He is the enemy.
typically, I make enemies character body 2Ds as well, just like the player. Because the enemy's got to do most of the same things a player has to do. It has to move, it has to control, it has to collide with stuff. So I'm going to make this the new scene root. Delete enemy, enemy. This needs a shape. So I'm going to give it shape. And not just any shape. I'm going to also give it an area. And what an area lets me do is define a place where I can detect if things collide. I can make a box and then in the code ask if anything's come into that box or gone out of that box. Useful for enemies. The player comes into the box. There's gonna be, ooh, they're gonna get it. All right, so we got our collision box. Let's get our enemy sprite. And come into assets. And this is going to be we can just use an atlas texture and bring out that little bit. There we go. Boom. And then I want just our little wasp. Here we go. And 1 pixel addition. That's the bonus pixel. All right, and then our area TD also needs a collision, so I'll just copy paste that. Cool. All right, now we have a bee. Let's come back to main. We can click and drag enemy here, and then that does not look like the enemy. We did not hit Control S. There we go. Now there is an enemy. Let's see if we can detect collision. So I'm going to add a little bit of, ooh, do I need to add code? Told you could do so much without code. I would hate to have lied. Over here, there is a node tab. Godot has an awesome event system. You can create signals that trigger on all sorts of events, and then you can have other nodes just listen in, all creepy like, hey, did that bee collide? Oh, well, maybe I should do something. This makes code, if you are coding, so much simpler. Sometimes you don't even need code because this is just handled. So we have signals here. And what I want is this area 2D. There's this area entered. And yeah, let's see if we can tell the enemy to detect when the player bumps into it. So I'm gonna make a quick script, scenes, scripts, enemy.gd, script, enemy.gd, and if I come back, click on the enemy, click on the area, click on area entered, it gives me this new function, on area 2D, area entered. Connect. Look at this, we have a function. I'm just going to print area. And let's run this, run our little hero into it. Nothing prints. That's because our player does not have an area. Ah, yes. All right. Get it colliding and then call it.
I think we could have a hard cutoff at 1 just because we need
Oh,
to
yeah.
have the room available for the next person.
Oh, that's so
It
true.
is lunchtime, so if you guys do need to eat,
Mhm. I won't be offended.
yes.
Look at me. Yeah, I'm just going to throw an area on the player now. Now it has an area that can collide with the other area. And all Godot does is it just takes the bounding box of one, sees if it intersects with the bounding box of the other, and if it does, it's going to call this happy little function for us. In theory. Double check, enemy, node, area entered. Let's double check our collision shapes. The area collision shape was buried within the physics collision shape. Welcome to game development. And do we have the same problem with mux? Yes. Yes. Show me your bounding box. So that's the area collision. That should bump into enemy. But we are not seeing a print. That should be bumping in. Alas. All right. On area 2D entered. Yeah, I must have my collision not quite right. Wah. Let me double check that print is even working. Print. Come on. Okay, our print is working. Yeah. This is the fun of live demos. That looks right. It has collision. There's the area. That should overlap with this. And that should trigger. Okay, maybe let's try.
Did you add quotes around area in the print?
Oh. No. Okay. I did wire that up right, yeah. Let's see if our B prints when it's ready. Bzz. Okay, B is loaded. Curious. We cannot surmount the B. All right, let's make a test. Let's take our fish. Let's see if we can collide with the fish. The fish can be our collectible. Let's let's undestroy. Oh, I'm so sorry, fish.
Have a good time.
It's oh, maybe not 0 scale. There we go. And let's try this again. Area 2D. Let's give it a collision shape. Let's go ahead and just keep it simple. We'll make the fish this rectangle. And now on the player, I want to see if the player collides with the fish. So I'll come to node and the area entered, connect, there's our function, print, ouch. Maybe it's a spiky fish. And then we come back to main and we can drag our fish into the picture. And maybe even put it to the left and update our player so that it can move to the left. I think we've earned it. We've earned the right to go left. So when we go left, we want the velocity to go -x. And, oh, yeah. Let's modify the sprite. So if I just click and drag this in, we can get a reference to the sprite for the player. And then we can modify that as we go. And we have this handy function called flipH, which is flip horizontal. In the C tree, oh yeah. This has to be, since we're declaring it before all the fun stuff happens. On ready. Am I messing up?
Do you need
Oh,
roads around the area in print?
I apparently was holding D and playing while the editor was open. Oh my god. Oh, it's an animated sprite. Oh. It's right there though. Oh, it's a property. It's a property? If true, flip. Okay. Thank you, Godot. Manual. True. And then if we press right, we do not flip the sprite. Just like Grandma always said. Oh, look at that.
Hey.
We got sprite flip.
Yeah.
And if we, oh, we got ouch.
Oh,
We have collision. So,
there he goes.
the temptation of the fish. All right, so when we hit the fish now, we're printing ouch. So we're getting this. That's good. Maybe the fish is a power up. Maybe.
Maybe have it print yum instead of that.
Ooh. Yeah, so let's add a say-in animation. We'll click on this. We'll go to Mux. We'll click this one where you got the cool eyebrows, I guess. And now, when you touch it, we can say sprite.animation equals say-in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we lost our other, but it's worth it. we don't need to waddle when we have eyebrows. Okay, maybe the fish shouldn't be there after we collect it. So we should do some stuff on the fish side. So I'm going to click this, add script, script fish.gd, and I'm going to do something similar on the other side. Area 2D, area entered, and yes. Again, just a sanity check. Let's print. Oh my gosh, it's right where I need to see. There we go. Print. Let's print out the area that we run into. So there's one more thing that I really want to show you. Okay, so good. It recognizes this when it runs into it. Here's the issue we run into, though. We want to be specific about what runs into the fish. If that wasp hits that fish, I don't want it to be a Super Saiyan wasp. I want it to just do something when the player hits it, not anything else. So what we can do is we can start classifying our nodes using groups. So if I come to my player here and click on groups here, I can add a group, and I'll just call it player and make this a global group. Now, no, I want to click on player and then add group, player, global, group, boom. Now the fish, it recognizes that something's touched it. It's a touched fish. It has some area intersecting with it. But it wants to know if that thing is in a certain group, and I can check to see if that thing is in the group player. So if that thing is in the group player, then I'll print. The parent is in the group player. Back to player, click on the area, add that to the group, ka-ching. Indeed. Yay! Okay, it recognizes when it's just a player. If it was the wasp interacting, it would not be here. So now we can define what to do if it's something in the player group interacting with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to annihilate the fish from existence. We do that using the Q-free, the Queway-free command. What this does is it just tells Godot, hey, that can go, and usually by the next frame, it's just gone from memory, never existed, but a shadow on RAM. And now the fish is free.
What do we call it there?
Yeah. Does it sound good? I'll stick around for questions out and about. Sorry, I overestimated maybe what to cram in 45 minutes. But I will post the slides and that, and I'll put a link to the slides in that GitHub project. You can find me on GitHub as just The Art of Pour. So if you go to GitHub, The Art of Pour.
With a U.
Yeah, pour. I make beer. and I do it in a Sun Tzu sort of way. Yeah, and I'll make sure the slides are up on there, as well as the project code and assets and stuff too. I have a good write-up that follows through the rest of the stuff. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you all for coming.
What was your Etsy?
And what was my
Your Etsy.
oh my thank you, head of marketing. The brew.shop. Yeah.
Put it on your GitHub page.